Over the years, I've bought and played a lot of games. However, I barely have any trophies or platinums in my catalogue. So join me as I platinum every game I own, and in today's video, I'll be platinuming Grand Theft Auto Vice City. The game is ranked at a 3 out of 10 difficulty, requiring 1 playthrough and around 45 hours. There are 34 trophies including the platinum. We got 4 missable trophies to keep an eye out for and also a 100% game completion trophy. As always, there may be spoilers ahead, so proceed with caution. Stage 1 of the platinum journey is to complete the story mode. Vice City, 1986. Tommy Vercetti has just gotten out after doing a 15-year stretch and is sent down to Vice City to set up shop. We're given a stack of cash to buy our first batch of product and meet up with the Vance brothers. More on them too later. The deal goes sour as we're ambushed and we lost both the product and the money. Now we gotta get it back. First line of business, put on a fancy suit and head to a boat party and make several connections and eye up potential suspects. During one cutscene, we meet Lance, the helicopter pilot during the deal, and Vix, who was killed in the ambush, brother. We actually play as Vic and meet Lance in Vice City Stories. I used to spend a lot of hours on my PSP playing that. Back to Vice City now, Lance shows us the local ammunition and drops us off at our hotel. I then instantly found a bike and popped a wheelie for 54 seconds to get the first trophy. Whilst working with Ken, we meet Avery, who will also have some missions for us, in which 2 of those have our missable trophies. But before we get into that, completing the final mission for most characters will give you a trophy. I completed Ken's final mission, Riot, to unlock Legal Counsel. I then started tackling the 100% list. This is everything we need to do. Activities ranging from races, stunt jumps and rampages to buying all the properties in the game and completing every mission within Vice City, including emergency vehicle ones. The first thing I got going was the taxi mission. You have to complete 100 total fares for the 100% completion, but you'll get a trophy for the first 25 completed. Before I got that trophy, however, I got rid of a 1-star wanted level using a police bribe and obtained greasy palms. 40 minutes later, I dropped off my 25th fare to pop another trophy. The next mission I did was the paramedic one, in which I had to complete level 12. This had to be done in one straight go. If you ran out of time or a patient died before reaching the hospital, you'd fail the mission and have to restart over. Best practice is to plan your route at the start of each level and try to pair up as many patients as possible, as the ambulance can hold 3 patients at a time. I got this done and got Somebody Call the Wambulance. The first missable trophy we came across is Irony, in which you have to kill the property developer with a golf club during Avery's mission for Iron. He's surrounded by some security at the driving range, but it shouldn't be a problem if you're quick enough and cut him off before he gets into his golf cart. Avery's next mission, Demolition Man, tasks us with blowing up a nearby building with a RC helicopter and some bombs. This mission presents us our next missable trophy, Choppered Up. To get this trophy, you need to kill all hostile NPCs in the building using the RC helicopter's blades. There are a few construction workers and security guards, and when you dispose of the last one, the trophy is all yours. Speaking to Juan, Cortez reveals more about Ricardo Diaz, whom we suspect was behind the ambush. To establish a connection, the colonel gives us some protection and we head to one of Diaz's meets to cover him and his guys. The Haitians interrupt the deal and we're tasked with retrieving very politely the briefcases. This gives us favors with Diaz, to which we can use to do some further investigating. Whilst on my way to Diaz's mansion, I found a beach ball which we needed for a trophy. This is a keepy-uppy beach ball, and I needed to bounce it off Tommy's head at least 5 times. Why, you ask? No clue, but here's keepy-uppy okie dokie. Working some jobs for Diaz has me killing a former associate of his for stealing 3% of his earnings and stealing a speedboat. During his final mission Supply and Demand, I needed to complete a deal before other buyers could purchase the goods and then take out all the gunmen in a speedboat chase. When arriving at Diaz's mansion again, I unlocked South American Connection. Another emergency vehicle mission is Firefighter. The trophy popped once I had extinguished 10 fires as opposed to completing level 12 like the Vigilante and Ambulance missions. I still needed to complete level 12 of the Firefighter mission, however, for the 100% game completion trophy. Following up on that, I tackled the Pie Guy trophy. All I needed to do was deliver 10 pizzas for the trophy and then go on to complete level 12 for the 100% game completion trophy like the previous vehicle mission. A lengthier part of the 100% game completion is the hidden packages. There are 100 dotted all over Vice City and you need to collect every single one for 2 trophies. As I progressed through the story and unlocked the main island, I began collecting them but was missing one which was hidden in the police station. I needed a particular outfit to go in there problem free, so I waited until I completed that specific mission. Collecting the 90th package unlocked the Rhino tank at Fort Baxter. I used this tank to complete level 12 of the Vigilante mission and got running rampant. Part of the 100% game completion consists of 11 parked vehicle missions. This is different to the emergency vehicle ones as these are focused around going through checkpoints with RC vehicles and helicopters. Completing the first RC car race gave me a trophy. Juan Cortez's last mission, All Hands on Deck, is us helping him escape French military intelligence on his yacht. The final cutscene plays and we're gifted a speedboat and life of the party. Lance 4-star hand with Diaz when he tried to kill him but was subsequently captured and almost killed himself. So now we gotta go to the mansion and wipe out Diaz and his guys. This is where missable trophy number 3 is. Salutations my little friend is unlocked when using the M4 to take out Diaz during the mission Rub Out. I'm sure it's a nod to Scarface, but don't quote me on that as Tony says a similar line. Once the mission cutscene begins playing, the trophy popped. Side note, the mansion has several resemblances to Tony's too. This unlocks our first asset, the Vassetti Mansion. There are several assets dotted around Vice City and for the 100% game completion you need to own them all and complete their related missions. Whilst running the Vassetti Mansion asset missions, dialogue is shared between Tommy and Lance which depicts Lance as beginning to resent Tommy. Hopefully everything is cool and Lance doesn't do anything stupid.
I do not wish to be horny anymore. I just want to be happy.
The final Vassetti Mansion mission is Copland and we need to blow up a store in the mall whilst posing as a cop. Completing this mission spawns the cop outfit in the Washington Beach police station. Swapping into this and walking up to the second office floor, I collected the final hidden package to get City Sleuth and one step closer to that 100% trophy. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe and share. Let's keep it going. Meet Umberto Robina, voiced by Danny Trejo by the way. He runs a cafe in Little Havana and gives us a few missions. Nothing too serious apart from the final one, Trojan Voodoo. He has an ongoing war with the Haitians and enlists Tommy to help. To put an end to this once and for all, we sneak into their factory and plant several bombs. Our cover is blown, so we gotta do this quickly as the bombs are on a timer. Escaping the factory and blowing it up concludes Umberto's missions and gives us big heat from Little Havana. Another part of the 100% game completion is the 4 gangs and their 13 additional missions in total. We've already done Umberto and Auntie Paulette's gangs respectively, now we just need to complete Love Fist's and Mitch Baker's missions. During one of Mitch's missions, we need to cause some chaos. Whilst doing this, I obtained a 6-star wanted level, unlocking this trophy. Mitch had his motorbike stolen by the Sharks, another bike crew I'm guessing. We go and get it back for him to round off his missions and get Tommy 2 wheels. Straight after this, I went and completed Love Fist's final mission, Publicity Tour. The band has had a crazy stalker problem, which we thought we had taken care of, but they were still alive and planted a bomb in the band's limousine. Tommy then must drive around in the band's limo, whilst Love Fist attempts to defuse the bomb. All it requires is a steady hand and a suitable speed as slowing down for too long and bomb goes boom. After defusing the bomb and dropping the band off at their show, Chauffeur is mine, and as you guessed it, this was the band's final mission too. Purchasing my 10th property unlocked Vice City Mogul. One of the lengthier asset missions is Distribution. This mission is from buying the Cherry Popper ice cream factory and you need to sell drugs from the cover of an ice cream van. After selling to 50 customers, the mission is completed. However, you're still liable to getting a wanted level and at some points customers don't spawn and the ice cream van isn't the quickest. Bloodstained hands popped for earning the Butcher criminal rating. This is one of 2 criminal rating related trophies, the second one being an absolute pain in the arse. Another asset to buy is Sunshine Autos. They have a list of cars that we need to borrow and completing the first list unlocks the Deluxo in the vehicle showroom. I then took the car and headed to the longest runway at the airport. I slammed on the gas and upon reaching the end of the runway, I got don't need roads for hitting the max speed in the Deluxo. Finishing all the lists of cars at Sunshine Auto also pops Grand Theft Auto. This asset also provides 6 races which we need to win for the 100% completion trophy. The final missable trophy, not including the 100%, is Not My First Time. During the mission G Spotlight given to us through buying the film studio's asset, Tommy comes up with an idea to promote an upcoming film. The plan is simple: traverse the rooftops of Vice City and light up a building. The catch is though that you must do this without falling from the rooftops. If you die or land on the main streets, you have to load your previous save point and attempt the mission again. I did fail the first time, which was quite annoying, but on the second attempt I nailed it. During another asset mission, this time for a local cab company, I blew up another taxi, which resulted in my $1 millionth worth of property damage throughout my entire playing time. There are 5 assassination contracts in Vice City, the easiest being wiping someone off a pizza bike and the hardest one being running through a factory filled with security to steal a briefcase, the latter being the final contract. I headed to the drop-off point and passed the final assassination mission and got gun for hire. This also adds up to the 100% and final story missions. Speaking of the final story mission, Sonny had come to collect the product and his cash, but seeing as we had made quite a name for ourselves and built our own empire, he tried to take that too. Remember when I said I hoped Lance wouldn't do anything stupid? Turns out he sold us out, so he had to be dealt with too. Unfortunately for these guys, I had collected enough hidden packages to have an RPG spawn outside every safe house, and as opposed to how Tony went out in Scarface, Tommy wasn't doing that. The final cutscene and credits rolled, and we finished the story. Now onto the cleanup. Stage 2 is the cleanup. As I had been following the story, I was proactively working on the 100% list. The only things left to do was the following: rob all 15 stores, complete all 35 rampages, and do all 36 unique stunt jumps. But before doing that, I went through the grind of getting the trophy, Take the Cannoli. This trophy right here is probably why I have an additional 2 hours of extra playing time. At least. In order to get this trophy, your criminal rating must reach 100,000 points. What you get for all that hard work, seeing as when you normally finish the story, you only are at around 30,000 points? Well, a silver trophy of course. And count yourself lucky to be playing the definitive edition, as the previous versions of the game needed you to reach 1 million points. There are 2 ways to increase your criminal rating: accuracy or money. I chose the money route and loaded up the attack chopper plus vigilante combo. 168 vigilante levels later, I had amassed over $81 million and got the trophy. Following up on this, I cancelled the vigilante mission and went on a mini rampage to get I'm Famous for earning the Stuff of Legends media attention rank. Oh, but we're not done there. I thought the worst part was over, but I was far from it. The 2 things left to do for the 100% completion was the rampages and the stunt jumps. The stunt jumps in all GTA games have always been straightforward. However, the rampages in Vice City, for me, were terrible. I'm not sure if it was a bug of sorts, but I would start a rampage being tasked with killing a specific number of gang members, but they'd refuse to spawn. I saved the game a few times and moved on to the next one in hopes that they would start spawning. After a full day of doing this, I managed to get them all completed, but I was so over the game at this point until something else happened. But before that, here's me completing the final stunt jump, unlocking 2 trophies, one being the 100% completion and the second one being all stunt jumps completed. The final trophy before achieving the platinum was Born in the 80s, and all I had to do was listen to all music stations at least once. Simple, right? Oh no. This trophy has been reported as buggy, and I unfortunately drew the short straw as mine was severely bugged. I had been listening to various stations for long periods of time throughout the whole game, but according to the game, I hadn't managed to listen to them all. I sat here and listened to an additional 3 songs on every radio and about 15 minutes of each talk show. Did the trophy pop? No. So I waited and repeated the process at least twice before this happened. Although the plat grind became very painful towards the end, hearing the trophy sound made it all go away. I'll be honest, I did enjoy this platinum overall as the game holds sentimental value. I spent countless hours on both this version and Vice City Stories, so I had fun replaying this. The only letdown for me was the bug-filled sections towards the end of the Plat-Run. So whilst it started off nostalgic and fun, it slowly turned painful. Still a great game and platinum nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and bye bye.